28 fucking years old.
Excuse me, just a minute. I'm watching the Olympics here on live TV. This is our DVBH product. Hold it. By the way, today, one of our sponsors in the skateboard competition won the gold medal, a Motorola sponsor. Let's hear it. Okay, that's it. Go away. How do I shut it off? This is kind of cool, by the way, just watching the Olympics. I got something to play with when Mike gets on. Anyway, that's being actually done in trials at the Olympics, and we also are going to be featuring it at the World Cup, so we got a lot to do with DVBH and TV this year. I'm not that good looking, am I? Anyway, thank you very much for coming. This is, we're quite excited to be here in Barcelona. It's first for 3GSM in Barcelona. We've got some great things to talk about. We're also going to feature, first for us too, is our Connected Home division. You might want to think, what is a Connected Home division or products doing at 3GSM? I think you're going to see why in this whole concept of what we've been talking about for the last few years and what it really means to us. It's also another exciting day for us because a few thousand miles away in Washington, D.C., right about now, our Chief Technology Officer is receiving the 2005 National Medal of Excellence given by the White House and President Bush to Motorola. We are the company receiving this award. This is for the years and years of you don't have to clap for Bush, you can clap for Motorola. We're really excited. It really, I think, underscores what all of our employees, our partners, our customers that are here today have been doing with us for the past, actually, 75 years. Hopefully some of the great products and technologies in 2005, but I think over this next year, over the next several years, more of what you see in 2006. So we're excited. I chose to be here with all of you than be in Washington tonight. I think I made the right choice. Anyway, we're pretty excited. Actually, it was also 2 years ago, almost today, that I was here. Actually, I was in Cannes at 3GSM there and talking about this vision of seamless mobility. I don't know if you remember this slide right up here. That's kind of the slide we showed 2 years ago. And I remember looking at the audience of the press and the analysts that were there and had like a quizzical look. Well, you know, what is seamless mobility? What is it it's talking about? And we talked about our vision of bringing together the home, the enterprise, the auto, and the person, of having seamless connectivity, be able to move content and devices seamlessly between these different environments, and empowering the technology to make that happen. And it's funny, just last month being in the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and now seeing the trade show floor here, seamless mobility is not only just a vision, it's a reality. There isn't a wireless carrier, wireline carrier, satellite, cable. There isn't a content player around the world that is thinking, talking, doing, investigating how to bring the seamless mobility vision in reality. These are exciting times. Consolidation is happening, convergence is happening. And I look at Motorola, and the reason we do have Dan here from Connected Home and Adrian from Networks and Ron from our mobile devices, I don't believe there's a company on the planet that can deliver the kind of seamless mobility vision in Motorola. We have a #1 presence in the Connected Home and set-top boxes, bringing wireline video into the home with a number of our partners around the world. We have a #1 presence in the mobile device area, actually #2 with all of these products you see here today, and Ron's going to talk more about that. We have a tremendous presence in networks and infrastructure, not only in GSM, CDMA, 3G, but the emerging 4G around 802.16 and WiMAX, and Adrian's going to talk some about that. And if you've been inside your Mercedes, your BMW, your GM cars, anything to do with telematics, Motorola provides that kind of technology. And what we're doing now, which you'll see some of the demonstrations here today, is marrying these technologies, marrying these environments, seamlessly connecting not only you, the person, but your content around this concept of seamless mobility. So I think it's exciting. People ask me about our industry and how's it going and what's the future look like. I got a chance to experience the internet for the past 10 years. I will tell you that broadband wireless internet and broadband wireline internet is going to make the last 10 years pale in comparison. This is the beginning, which you can see out here on the floor, and over the next several years of a new generation of technology, of content, of services, of user experiences, and hopefully the ability for all of us to grow our markets, make a lot of money, and most of all, please consumers. So with that, what we'd like to do is first bring up Dan and Adrian and Ron. Really pleased for the first time here to bring up Dan Maloney. We'll get to the gadgets in a second, but please pay attention to what he's doing in the home because I think it's an exciting way for the future. Where's Dan Maloney? Please come on up.
Thanks, Ed. Well, as Ed said, this is my first time here at 3GSM. Actually, my first time here in this lovely city of Barcelona. And compared to the alternative of being in Philadelphia in the United States, we've got 2 feet of snow yesterday. I'll take this lovely weather and the lovely people any day. But in all seriousness, as Ed said, the world is changing. This isn't about just mobile in the traditional sense. This is about the convergence between fixed and mobile, and really the convergence between the home and the mobility space. The ability to move content between those 2 domains. That's what seamless mobility is really all about. For those operators who jump on board with what we've got here, it's a great opportunity to drive ARPU, drive stickiness, and really be a leader. And for the consumer, the opportunity to have an experience that goes with them. No longer do they have to go to that experience. So, we're going to take you through and show and tell a little bit on this. And let me start with our whole home media architecture, because this is really the core of what drives our ability for any content, anywhere. Photos, music, video. The ability to take that content and move it around in and out of the home anytime that you as a consumer want. So seamless mobility, content movement, the Motorola whole home media solution. And let me start. I'm going to introduce Peter Boonstra to join me up here on stage, and we're going to take you through a couple of applications that show the ability and the power of what we've got going on here. So I want to start. Hi, Peter. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Gary.
Let me start in the photo experience. How many of you have gone through this experience of having content and not be able to move that content, photo content, where you want? Well, beforehand, before we started here, we went out with this mobile device and took a series of pictures. And we then pushed that content onto the personal video recorder on the set top. And Peter, we have a little bit of that displayed here.
We do. This is content that, as we said, we took off the lobby, and you'll show in a moment actually how that content gets seamlessly transferred to our DVR.
Yeah, so let me show you really how this works. I'm going to take this and take the camera over here and take a couple of pictures of Peter here. We'll looks like the lens works. So what's happening here?
Well, right now, as we speak, that phone is wirelessly communicating to the DVR and all the other network devices in the home, and the content should be seamlessly uploaded to the DVR in a couple of seconds.
So, real-time photo content pushed into your DVR over the wireless network and then stored for you to be able to have access to that content. So no longer do you have your photos stored in your shoebox, as many people do.
That's exactly right. What's
So-
very nice about that application is the ability to seamlessly share media content in 2 directions between the mobile device and the set-top.
So photos is one application, but let's talk about video. I mean, video is hot. Everybody's talking about that experience. Traditional cable, wireline, wireless, you name it, everybody wants to be able to deliver video content to the consumer. So we need to look at how are we going to manage that video content. Well, how many of you in here have had the experience of taking content that you have stored on your personal video recorder, and you're watching a program in the living room and you're starting to fall asleep, and you really wish that content was now in your bedroom. Well, now we have the ability to take the content stored on your device and push it to another screen in the house so you can pick up that content exactly where you left off without missing anything in the bedroom. Peter, can we demonstrate that here?
Definitely. It's really cool how this works. First of all, you know I'm an avid football fan, right?
Okay, is this American football we're talking about here or real football?
I don't want to get religious here, but it is the one with the squish ball.
Okay, American football, we'll deal with it. So you got an American football program, what are we doing here?
I'm currently watching Super Bowl 39 in my living room. I'm getting tired. I decide I want to move to the bedroom. With a push of a couple of buttons, I can indicate that I want to move this show to another part of my house. It prompts me and tells me, well, where do you want to move this content? I'll say, okay, I want to move it to the bedroom, I'm getting tired. And I immediately get an alert over here on my bedroom screen, which you should actually be seeing on the to the far right there, saying, someone in the living room is trying to push some content to this room, is that okay? I'm just going to say yes. And that show picks up at the exact frame at which it left off in the living room. I can also continue watching, or if someone else stays in the living room, they can continue watching that show, and I've now got 2 independent sessions of the same content.
So let me get this right. We now took content stored on the PVR in the main viewing room, and we pushed that content to be viewed in the bedroom, and at the same time, I now can access that content from 2 locations that are out of sequence with each other, so wherever I left off, I pick up, and I've got 2 viewing of the same content.
I could fast forward one show and rewind the other.
That's pretty neat. That's a pretty neat experience to be able to move that.
It's IP networking that makes this possible, and it is very cool. But that's not all that's cool. That's moving content within the home. I can also move content to my mobile device to take with me. Let's say I'm going on a business trip to 3GSM, and I want to take with me my favorite music videos, let's say. Black Eyed Peas, one of my favorites. I can just go through my list, and through this menu say, save this material to my mobile device. And once that's done, it will transcode the content from the DVR to the mobile device to a format that's viewable on this device. And bear with me 2 seconds while I scroll through my content and show you how I've got Black Eyed Peas playing on my cell phone.
So, what we've done here, you've taken video content, you've moved video content from one display device to another display device, and now you've gone a step further, and you've taken that content and pushed it into the mobile world?
That's exactly right. These
That's
little
pretty
babies
neat.
have all kinds of memory now. I can take full-length movies with me.
So, is that it?
No, that's not it. Of course that's not it. We got all kinds to show. I've got something that you probably haven't even seen, Dan. This is a demonstration using an application called Screen 3, running on a mobile phone, that allows a service operator to provide me with promotional material based on my own viewing preferences. It knows I'm an avid football fan, and so it provides me with a trailer, for example, of the upcoming Chargers game, NFL Game of the Week. Okay? All I have to do is hit the record button to say, yeah, that interests me. Please record that in my absence. The phone contacts the DVR back at home, gives me some recording options, because I may want to record every game of the week. And when I hit record, it finally contacts the DVR one more time to say, Peter's interested, please record that for me. So now I can prove that by showing you my program recordings. NFL Game of the Week is now set to record for me.
So let me get this straight. Not only did we move the content around in the home, we moved the content to a mobile world to take with you, but now I can synchronize and tell from the mobile world what content I want stored in the home?
That's exactly right. You're never You're never away from home.
Wow, that is the power of seamless mobility at work. The ability now to take my content, move my content wherever I want, photos, music, video, in the home, out of the home, and synchronize that content from out in the world back into the home. That is seamless mobility. That is our experience around the mobile me and the Moto me. So, Peter, thank you for your help in demonstrating these wonderful applications.
Glad to help.
So you've seen the power of whole home media. Well, Motorola has been a leader in video technology for over 50 years now. And we are thrilled about what's happening in the world of IP video. We will be a driver in bringing to market the leading technology solutions based on MPEG-4, both encoding technology as well as home set-top technology. And as part of that, I am absolutely thrilled to have announced a little over a week ago our pending acquisition of a company called Koreatel, Swedish-based company who is a leader here in Europe in providing IP TV-based solutions, hardware, software-based solutions as that market begins to explode. And we will take this same whole home media technology that we demonstrated here and bring it into the IPTV world to complement what we're doing in the rest of our video technology world. So video, pictures, music, let's talk for a minute about voice, because seamless mobility of voice in and out of the house is absolutely a critical experience. VoIP is exploding. It's a global phenomenon. We will see more and more operators launch it. And what it provides is the foundation now to start having that phone call move with me. So, my experience, I'm out in the world, I move off of my mobile network when I come home and seamlessly transfer that call over to my Wi-Fi network. And as part of that, we're pleased to have announced very recently our residential seamless mobility gateway product, which you should see up here on the screen that we have over here. It really enables now that one phone number experience to the consumer to happen. Seamless movement, voice throughout the home. The consumer never loses a call, has full capability off of one number in and out of the home. And to the operator, that ability now to leverage the strength of that broadband wired network to the home and still enable the mobility experience out in the world. That is seamless mobility voice. So you've seen our seamless mobility experiences, whether it's following me with video, a phone call that stays with me from a voice perspective, always keeping me connected. Consumers want that experience. It's what enables them to complement their mobile world into their home environment. And to network operators, it allows me to bridge that gap between the mobile space and the consumer at home to make sure these great experiences happen seamlessly. Only Motorola is positioned to bring those types of experiences to bear in the marketplace. But behind these great experiences is a great network. And I'm pleased to introduce Adrian Nemchek, President of the Networks Business, who will walk you through that. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Powerful networks are the great enabler for those compelling mobile experiences that consumers want. And Motorola and our operator partners are defining, creating, and delivering to consumers around the world where they want it and the way they want it. But first, let me discuss recent developments and news in our expansive Moto Wi-Fi product portfolio, which meets the mobile broadband needs of industry and consumers through our Canopy, our Moto Wi-Fi WiMAX, our Moto Wi-Fi Mesh, our Metro Wi-Fi devices and services products that all fulfill that compelling space. But right here at 3GSM, we are showcasing our award-winning Canopy solution to deliver high-speed, rich media downloads and IP telephony solutions. Now, we also recently announced contract wins with Earthlink to deploy Metro Wi-Fi solutions across major cities in North America to provide internet access to both consumers and enterprises. Now, we're announcing here today the deployment of our Canopy solutions in 3 cities in the Philippines. Now, that's in conjunction with Meridian Telecom, which is a subsidiary of Smart Communications, the largest cellular provider in the Philippines. And this is part of the nationwide deployment contract that was announced late last year. But now, let's talk about another great leap forward, the world of indoor mobile broadband access. Our Motorola Access Point product portfolio was recently announced, and I'd like to ask JC to come up with me right now, and let's talk about that product. Hi JC, how you doing?
How are you?
Excellent, excellent.
Well, as you know, I know that you get a bit jealous sometimes of Ron and his 4-letter names.
Never.
What we've done is we've created this indoor mobile broadband. So as you can see up on the slide, 70% of your communications today, mobile broadband communications take place within the home. Let me introduce you to the AXPT. This is Motorola's access point. It's dual mode, both UMTS and HSDPA. It supports up to 100 users, and you see this typically in places like offices, airports, shopping centres, coffee bars, and places like that. But let me just take you through a little bit of what it can do. So what I've got here is a laptop which is connected via a cable to this full HSDPA handset. And we're going to do more on the handset a little bit later. And what I've got on the screen here, you'll see, is both the downlink and the uplink.
Okay.
I'm going to pull down the stream here. So what you're looking at now is it's pulling down an ADSL stream, and if you look on the screen here, the downlink, you see we're peaking it over 2.2 megabits. So this is full HSDPA. Let me just pull up something else for another comparison. What I'm going to do now is I'm pulling up 384 kilobit per second streams. Something that you couldn't do if you were running this on a UMTS, just full UMTS. Let me just reiterate. So I'm saying that this is UMTS, it's voice, data, and HSDPA. But I know that it's not just about the naming, but it's also about design. I know again you get a little bit jealous of what we're doing with the Razor and the Sliver, etc. I have a question for you.
Sure.
The question is, where is the access point in this picture?
Get you right up there.
Yeah.
We only have 3 choices. The dog would be a highly mobile solution, but for some reason I just don't think we're in that business. It's got to be the picture, JC.
You're exactly right, and let me introduce you. So all of the electronics that you typically associate in network infrastructure, which would typically fill a car, so that's the RSN, the SGSN, all of that electronics is compressed, and we've taken all of that. Electronics doesn't have to be ugly. So you can imagine this in your office, and this is providing, as I said before, coverage for up to 100 people, 100 users.
That is absolutely incredible. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much, JC. Thank you. Now, get it, Brian? Watch out. We're taking aim. Our products are getting smaller. We're getting 4-letter acronyms out there. We're getting cooler. But really what it's about is that we are taking and we're applying it into innovative form factors and applying leadership architectures to create compelling solutions to enable mobile broadband for the operators. This is about simplification of the network. This is not just a simple base station. This is an interesting combination of UMTS voice call capability, use of HSDPA full data capabilities, and an innovative IP low-cost backhaul architecture that allows the network operator to have a very, very low-cost and innovative solution. Not just to serve their current mobile data users, but to serve and penetrate new markets, such as enterprise, which can allow them to grow their business in a very cost-effective manner. So what else is new? Well, we're announcing today the contract with Vicestream of Germany. Vicestream allows us to provide a core IP network and services to enable a greater portfolio of mobile services to MVNO operators through Vicestream. Now, MVNOs increasingly need differentiation, and they need control of their brand and brand content, as well as the ability to deploy new services without having to rely on the network host that they're basically working with in collaboration. Vicestream enables MVNOs to manage their quality of their service and to manage their provisioning costs in a very effective way by providing their content and services across multiple brands and across multiple networks. So this is, we believe, another powerful offering to the industry for Motorola Networks. Okay, core networks. It's a compelling, important part of our future portfolio for seamless mobility. We are continuing to invest and expand our core network offering. We're unveiling today our IMS Mobility Manager. The Mobility Manager is a key part of expanding our IMS portfolio. This provides seamless session continuity for multimedia services. No more drop calls, the ability to initiate a call, whether it be you in the car, move into enterprise, into your home, on the go. The ability to have seamless session continuity of those media-rich experiences. Also, we're bringing you wickedly cool experiences. We're going to look at something that I find pretty important when you go and look at the Motorola demos. I don't like to miss my favorite TV show. Usually in airplanes, I don't get a chance, but this one's going to help a lot. TV on the go allows us to do real-time channel selection and streaming of live TV over to a UMTS handset. Now, so we're, through our IMS solutions, demonstrating and bringing to the market some wickedly cool, compelling applications. And this platform is going to allow us to do it. Now, doesn't stop there. We announced last week our M-Wallet product. Now, that product was announced through our services organization. M-Wallet allows the user to leave their wallet behind, and they bring with them total access to all their financial services with security through their mobile device. JC, would you mind coming up one more time? Okay. Let's show the people. Picture's worth 1,000 words.
Well, I know you're a man with a lot of money.
No, my wife has it all, believe me.
What I'm going to show you now is the M-Wallet application. So I'm going to give you one of these.
Okay. Love the phone.
You can have it afterwards.
Thank you.
And what I'm showing, by showing it on two different devices, is that it's independent of the handset. So what you can see here on the front screen, there are 4 layers of security. So what it will do is it will time out if you leave it for more than 2 or 3 minutes. If you to have the phone stolen and the SIM card was taken out and a new SIM card was put in, you wouldn't be able to log into the system. As well as over-the-air encryption as well. What I can see here on this application is it's secure, and I've got my credit card details, my bank, so I can zoom in, and you can set up on the web portal as many credit cards as you have. You can see your balance. This is all live. Bank account, store cards. I can purchase tickets. I scroll down here. It's also linked to your travel, so your frequent flyer club, you can have all those miles as well, and have them logged here. I can pay my phone bill on here. I've also got the option, so when we're traveling as we do, and sometimes you forget that bill, I can go in here and pay my bills via the device. In fact, with this, you can do everything that you can do in an ATM except draw out cash. All of the receipts all of the transactions that you do, they're actually stored on here, and you can view them digitally, so no more thick, bulky wallet.
You don't have to carry all those receipts we carry with our travel expenses. They
No.
insure them today. Okay, but so you can pull those back at any time?
You can pull them back at any time, and you set the preferences on the web portal. Plus the ability, you've got a pay option and I've got a pay option, and it's the ability for me to pass credit from my account to yours, so I can actually do a transaction between the two of us. And in the future, we have near-field communications embedded in the device.
Okay.
Just like we know in the States when you pay with your card at McDonald's and gas stations, when you have that embedded in the device, you can actually do wireless transfer of funds at a store with your cell phone, with your mobile device. So no longer do you need to have a wallet. This will be the only device you have.
Now, this is really exciting. We've been talking about the ability to do e-commerce and things for a long time. This is a secure solution that allows people to pay bills, create money orders, transfer funds, a variety of things with total security through their mobile device.
Exactly.
That is absolutely exciting. I timed out, by the way, first layer of security to go over there. I appreciate it. JC, once again, thank you very much. Well, these are powerful steps forward to bring a higher level of mobile services to the cellular users around the world. Well, what about the 4 billion people in the world today that have never had a single telephony experience? Not wired, not wireless. Now, our mobile products division has had a wonderful relationship with the GSM Association in connecting the unconnected. And Ron Garriggs is going to be up here in a little while, and he's going to tell you a lot more about that. But how many of you know that Motorola is also providing the infrastructure that's required to make those many connections? So we're introducing here the Motorola Reach solution. It's our portfolio of 2G solutions that connect the next billion people. GSM Reach includes the micro base station, which enables rural connectivity, backhaul offerings for call transmission, and a low-cost media gateway for lower call transport costs. In addition to that, a variety of alternative power sources, including wind turbines and solar power. Now, this is clearly a way of connecting the unconnected, and I believe Motorola's got a best-in-class solution. To move that forward, we just completed a contract with MTC Namibia for a combined Motorola Wi-Fi canopy, Wi-4 canopy, my apologies, and GSM Motorola Reach solution, which is going to enable MTC to connect 95% of the Namibia population and expand their current network capacity. In addition to that, in Pakistan, with MobileLink, we're announcing the ability and the contract to connect an additional 20 million people in Pakistan for MobileLink. That's by deploying Motorola's home location server. Now, this is the largest home location server deployment in the world. Another first brought to the business by Motorola. So I think you'll see through these solutions that Motorola, across all of Motorola, clearly has a passion to connect the unconnected. And I think this is an appropriate time to bring forward the mobile devices business and the president of mobile devices, Ron Garriggs.
Well, I've been coming to the GSM World Congress now for about as long as I can remember. And what's really cool about the GSM World Congress is my birthday is on February 18th, so I always share that. Up until this year, it was in Cannes, and my wife and I were married in France. And we'd always have the ability to fly down or drive down into Avignon and kind of spend the weekend. In addition to that, it was Valentine's Day, so it was very, very romantic. So it was pretty exciting having all of those things all kind of wrapped up in one time. Kind of when the venue got changed and what have you, my wife kind of bailed on me, and I am sitting out here, and many of you might be out here all by yourselves. So I'm going to suggest something to all of you. Out behind this building, we have a 48-foot truck full of pink razors, okay? And what I suggest all of you do is line up single file, buy one of these and send them home to your families, okay? In a way of celebrating the holiday season. Thrilled to be here. Got a lot of really cool stuff to be on the show today about what Motorola is doing in the mobile device business. We have an absolute amount of momentum going into 2006. And I think this next chart really puts in perspective 2005 and how much momentum Motorola had out in the marketplace. We grew units year over year 130%, faster than any other handset manufacturer on the planet. And from a share perspective, we gained more absolute share than any other handset player in the industry. So a great 2005, and we did that right at the tail end of the year, in the last 45 to 60 days, putting out 22 new devices out into the marketplace that are driving the momentum through Q1. Moreover, when you think about the regions around the world, I can remember just a couple of years ago coming to the European market, running the Motorola European division, and having just a couple of points of market share, and not even considering ever having the best-selling phone in the whole European market be a Motorola phone. But the data will show you, in Q4 of this year, the Motorola Razr, at over 5 points of share in the European market, outsold every single other device in the European market, and lots of great momentum going into 2006. Having said that, and two really nice kind of pieces of data about 05 and Q4, but what's really important is our ability to see additional opportunity as we go into 2006. Motorola breaks the regions of the world up into 5 pieces: North America, Latin America, Europe, North Asia, and what we call the high growth markets. High growth markets go from South Africa up to India and Pakistan, and then back down into Australia. They're the 5 regions that we talk about in the world. And what we see worldwide is that, in general, in any given region, there's generally a natural hierarchy between the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 player in any given market. The number 1 player usually holds 35 to 40% share in any given market. The number 2 player usually holds 20 to 25% in any given market. The number 3 player usually has between 10 and 15% in any given market, and the rest basically battle it out amongst themselves for the remaining market share. When we did the Q4 analyst call here just in January, we fit those rules from a North America perspective with about 35 points of market share. Again, in Latin America, in that same range of market share. And at the time, a solid number 2 in Europe, a solid number 2 in North Asia, and a growing number 3 in market. Although not to the numbers that are traditionally held by the number 2 player. However, those asymptotic approaches the goals. What we've now just got is the January data, and we're proud to say we've now taken over the number 2 position in the high growth markets. One of the ways we had the ability to go do that is with the C115 product line, that this year was actually the first device ever made in India by Motorola. And that presence, that driving with the Indian operators, has given us the ability to be now the clear number 2 in what we call in the high growth markets. Having said all of that, what's new in Barcelona? The first thing that's new in Barcelona is when you think about the award ceremony. Tomorrow night is the big award ceremony. And we're thrilled to be able to say that the V3X is on the short list of the best 3GSM phone launched by anybody in 2005. We're very, very excited about that. And just as a quick demo, maybe JC can come on board. I'll show you one of the cool things that we're doing. Hey,
I'll be a Valentine,
you're
okay?
gonna be my Valentine? Thanks. I think that JC is gonna show a little bit about what we're doing with our partners around the world. We've talked to you about some partners, talked to you about the first one, tell you a little bit about what's going on with us in Yahoo, specifically across our product line.
So as you can see, this is the Yahoo front screen, and then you have your songs, your playlists. But what this allows you to do is not only am I able to synchronize it with my PC and get my music, etc., as I could do normally, but I can also go into my podcasts, and for instance now I'm going to look for the most popular podcasts, and now it's pulling up podcasts which I can then download over the air. So I'm able to take that content that traditionally I have to do with my PC and synchronize it, and take it and download it over the air. So this is podcasting over the air, this is what we just announced with Yahoo.
Cool. Well, thanks, JC. Not only are we shortlisted for the best phone in the industry at 3GSM, we're also shortlisted for the best end-to-end service of any end-to-end service. And Screen 3 is a shortlist, again, hoping to win the award tomorrow night as the best service by any player in the industry. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Screen 3?
So Ron, what this offers you is zero-click access to the content that matters to you. So in previous times, we've had to go through, different screens and different ways. It's more complicated to get that data on the go. What I've got here is, you can see it's a ticker which is running constantly across the screen, and it works across multiple devices. I can scroll through and look at the different stories, and then when I click enter, it brings up information on that story. It downloads it over the air, and this gets refreshed constantly. To embellish your phone with a choice of accessories for your wife.
Cool. So, cool phones, cool end-to-end solutions, but one of the things that really has differentiated Motorola is what we call, in the past, our companion products business, what we call the Moto Me, the things that consumers wear around their bodies that connect with their wireless devices to create an overall ecosystem around the human that allows you to communicate better. The coolest device, I think, that we've done all year is what we call Mini Blue. It's the smallest Bluetooth headset in the world. It is really, really cool. Now, if you guys want to get a picture, this is the one to get a picture of, all right? So this thing goes in your ear, right? Has unbelievable voice quality, picks off vibrations off the jawbone of your face to be able to use it, so you don't need any dangling mic. Unbelievably long battery time, used as the USB connector, and is a beautiful, beautiful design. Just one more way we're taking the whole Mini Blue experience. Excuse the fact it was in my ear. Thank you. When we look at the fact, okay, that we have gone from almost nowhere a couple of years ago, from a companion products perspective, to now having a full range across everything that we do out in the marketplace, and some pretty cool stuff at that, and having 40%, the clear number one by a factor of 4 over our next best competitor in Bluetooth globally, is something that we just continue to drive, and we're excited about it. So there's some of the things that are new, but what hasn't changed at all? What hasn't changed at all is design is a 4-letter word for Motorola. It is the single most important thing that we do every day, is making sure the next and the next and the next device is even more compelling than the last of them. And when you think about the different form factors out there in the world, there are 6 of them. And Motorola is reinventing every single one of them, whether it's the clamshell, the candy bar, the QWERTY, the slider, the PDA, and the rotator. And what I'm going to talk to you about today is just one example of each and every one of those around the worldwide market of what Motorola is going to do. But before I go do that, it would be suffice to say that 2005 was the beginning of Moto Razr. And what I say about beginning of Moto Razr, so we went from 750,000 to 1.5 million to 3 million to 6 million to 13 million. People say, well, when does it end? Guys, it doesn't end, right? Razors go more colors, more technologies, more candy bars, more QWERTYs, more rotators, more sliders, to the whole next generation. I would be thrilled to be standing up here and tell you, quite honestly, in Q2, Q3, all I sold was razors from a platform in all kinds of different applications out there in the marketplace. When we think about, what was 2005 about? It was about GSM, 1X, DO, UMTS, and the dual mode UMA device, okay, that we brought out with our partner in BT in the UK market. But more importantly, okay, we also took it from a position, right, of it's not just technology, it's all about fashion as well. And we did silver and black and blue and in pink. And then kind of, people say to me, well, Ron, what phone do you carry? Okay, well, I'll tell you, I carry a lot of phones. But what phone do I carry today? I actually carry this one. And you know why? Okay, because the phone I really, really want to carry, right, is this one, right? But every time I carry that one, it usually gets wrested out of my hand, right, and it winds up being somebody else's device. So I find out now, I now carry this one, right? People generally don't beg me for it, and everybody loves the absolute, the Dolce & Gabbana. Look on eBay, I think they're €1,000 a piece, and it has just absolutely caught the world by storm. And you'll see lots more of us working together around the world with the top brands in the world to create things that are absolutely objects of desire that people absolutely have to have. So what's 2006 about? It's taking Razor from a clamshell into the candy bar, which is sliver, into the QWERTY device, which is Q, into the slider, which is Z, into the PDA device, right, which is what we call Ming. And I'll talk about each and every one of those for just a minute. When we think about the sliver device, people say, well, how is sliver doing? Well, I'll just give you a rough piece of data. In the first 90 days of shipping Razor, we shipped 750,000 of them. In the first 90 days, okay, of shipping sliver, we shipped 4 times that many, right? Shipped 4 times as many slivers out in the marketplace. And how's it doing? It's doing really, really well. And when you look at L7 and L6, and you say, well, what else can it do? Well, L7 is a platform. It's a candy bar platform out in the marketplace that is super thin. We took everything that we learned from a Razor platform and put into it. And now we're loading things on top. One of the first things that we loaded on top is the ability to support music, iTunes, on top of the L7. Can you play something I might know?
Yeah, it's all because of you, but you can see here the user interface that you're used to with iTunes. You can see the artist, this is YouTube. And you can do everything exactly the same as you can with your iPod. So if I press again, I can advance it through the tracks, I can press again, I can change the rating. And it synchronizes with your PC.
Great. Another thing that we're able to do on this platform is something that was talked just a whole lot about, okay, just a year ago, is everybody knows that the highest ARPU generating feature in the world is push-to-talk. And it's been demonstrated across the IDE network as always being the highest ARPU generating. And the whole idea is to take that great thing, push-to-talk over cellular, and we decided to put push-to-talk over cellular, one button access, voice menu scrolling, the ability to do awesome push-to-talk over cellular. We bring it out on the L7 as well for our customers around the world who also want that device. But there's more. We always talk to you about really partnering with our carriers. And whether that partnering with our carriers is in the US with a Get It Now with Verizon, or with Sprint, with a Vision, or working in Europe with Vodafone Live, or working from O2 Active, we've been able to support these value-added services and build great long relationships with our carrier partners. One of the things that we didn't have the ability to do that we really wanted to be able to do is to support, okay, the iMode service. And we went ahead, we made an acquisition of the team in Rennes, France, that was part of the Mitsubishi team that became part of Motorola. And here we're thrilled to be telling you that we'll actually have L7s and L6s in iMode here in Q2 to be able to support yet one more value-added service that helps us strengthen our market share position in the European market. People say, well, great, L7, L6, but tell us a little bit about what you're doing from an enterprise perspective, from a candy bar perspective. Bringing out the L2, Bluetooth for enterprise, going to be coming out, again, depopulated without a camera, as most enterprises would rather have you not have a camera in the marketplace. But the 2 devices over on the right-hand side as well, with all the same feature set, but yet in a clamshell market, for those markets that prefer that. And that was a phone I showed you that was in my pocket. So, talk a little bit about razors and clamshells, then in candy bars, and then going ahead and bringing it into the QWERTY type device, in the device that we call Q. Obviously, talked about this, launching this here in the Q1 market, but let me just turn it over to JC so you get a full feeling of what this device can actually do.
Thanks, Ron. Well, as you can see, this is Windows mobile operating system and all the icons that you're familiar with. So, calendar, I can change the views here, week, month. Go back to the home screen. Messages, so by email. And this synchronizes over the air, it's DO as you pointed out. I can view my emails. I've got a document viewer. So basically it's everything that you can do with the Windows operating system, plus the ability to have media. So you can play media, you can stream media. I'll just put up something now. This is stored on the storage card. Use here to the volume. I think this is actually you scroll through here and just pull up a commercial. And again, because this is DO, we can actually stream this over the air and download content directly to the SD card, the mini SD card here on the device.
Well, cool. Well, thanks a lot. In addition to knocking off that form factor from a Razor design perspective, the next thing that we did is we went ahead and we just launched our first Razor slider. Launched it first in the Korean market. Just announced it in the last couple of days. Really, really excited about how this takes everything that we learned from a Razor perspective and put it into the very lucrative slider market. First coming out in Korea, soon to be coming out to both Europe and the Americas. Very, very excited about what we call Z. And yes, we named it after Ed. And so we talk about these different form factors in the world, and one of the ones we don't have an opportunity to talk about enough is we have had market share leadership year after year after year in the China market from a smartphone perspective. And that's where a whole Linux Java strategy came out of the market. And whether it was the first 388, which I actually see some people went with to dinner 2 nights ago, actually still carrying, or the 680s or the 780s from a PDA perspective. We're bringing out now Ming, which we just launched. Ming actually in Chinese means transparent or translucent. And if you look at the device, it is very much that from a front of the device perspective. Just launched it, unbelievable take-up inside of the Chinese market for a market that is all pen-based from an email perspective, and it continues to further our lead there. So I talked to you about a bunch of different form factors today. Haven't talked to you yet about the rotator, but stay tuned for the rest of 2006 as we bring out additional units. We've been talking a lot about the different partnerships we have around the world. We talked about Yahoo a moment ago, but let me give you a quick kind of synopsis of how quickly we put together the Kodak relationship, what we're already launching is already on here in the Chinese market.
Which is the Kodak application. As you pointed out, yes, it's launched in Asia. And I don't know about you, but how many times do you take a bunch of pictures and they just sit on your phone?
All of them.
Lots of them. So what this application does for people in the China market, the Asian market, is allows you to take those pictures and to do something with them, to store them online, to edit them. So that's what these different functions we're looking at here. Plus the ability, which is this one here, to take some of those images and to print them at over 5,000, there are over 5,300 Kodak kiosks in Asia that you're able to send that content to. So you store it up online, you're able to edit, you're able to share them, as well as to print them.
So great, our first real-time relationship with Kodak that we just announced at CES, less than 4 weeks later, already shipping commercially into the Chinese market. Now we talked to you a lot about the Razor and the design language, but just to keep the market kind of on its toes, we also brought out Pebble. And Pebble has been just a huge success for us. Whether it's in the Italian market, I met with Telecom Italia just a couple of days ago, whether it's in the Mexican market, this device is just absolutely, you have one down there?
Yeah, there's a bunch
Yeah,
of
cool,
them
that's
here.
awesome. It is so addictive from a playing with this device perspective, and it kicks off our whole other design language. You have the square, the hard, the metallic Razor family, and now kind of the more elegant, rounded, kind of cool, one-handed opening using very differentiated technology for this industry, which is MIMS, metal injected molding from the hinge perspective. It gives a real barrier to entry for people jumping in and trying to copy this out in the marketplace and differentiate between ourselves and our competition in order to go do that. What I wanted to be able to do is take 1 second and just kind of hit the ad that we went ahead and did, because I think it was quite a creative ad out in the marketplace. And not only is the product the best advertisement, sometimes the advertisement is a product in itself. things that's neat is, we invented thin type devices in Q4 of 2004. And now when you come here, everything is about how thin can you get? And I'm thinner than you, and this is really cool, and what have you. And we brought out our advertising, and I wonder how successful is this going to be? One of the things you can almost determine is when you have something really cool, how fast somebody copies it is usually a pretty good idea of how successful it's going to be. So thin got copied maybe a year and a half later. This one was actually an all-time record. We launched this ad in Pebble, in Mexico. This was our ad. Within a week, this was our competitor's ad in the exact same market. So I got a feeling, if copying is the best form of flattery, that this will actually be a very, very successful product. So people say to me, so Ron, what's next, right? Well, given how fast that happens, right? This right here in this box, right, this little thing, is one of the things that's next. But I'll be damned if I'm going to show anybody, right? Because there's more digital cameras in this room, probably with data links going somewhere else that's going to be competing against with me. So one of the things, right, we've got to be, given design is a 4-letter word inside of Motorola, just so tight about, right, is making sure that we show the products when we're getting ready to launch them. It's becoming that competitive. Having said that, let's give you a little bit of an idea of what our next platform is. So what's after the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of razors that we haven't even thought about making yet that we're going to make, right? Over the next 2 or 3 years that we're going to make tons of them. What's the next thing that we're going to go do? The next thing that we're going to do from a platform perspective is Scalpel, right? And don't think about Scalpel as just being thin. Think about Razor. Razor wasn't just about thin. Razor was about unbelievable performance. Quad band, didn't have to take any of the bands out, could roam anywhere in the world. Had an unbelievably usable keypad that had big numbers, people loved it. Has a big display, has a camera, has a metal fit, a metal finish, has all of the things that you wanted. And we've upgraded and we'll do more and more and more. But it was the overall package that you just looked at it and said, it's awesome. Scalpel isn't just about thin. It's about taking all of those same dimensions and creating the evolution of, I gotta have it. And that's what Scalpel is. I'll tell you, I ran across a cartoon one time that I thought was probably just the best representation of what I thought Scalpel was. I didn't create it, somebody did, but I did like it. So breathtaking design is great, and it's unbelievably important, but it's also about what you get to go do out in the marketplace. It's rich experiences, so awesomely divine phones, and then the rich experiences to go along with them. One of the things I want to talk to you about is we launched Mobile 1.0 Rocker from a music experience around the world and sold millions of them and learned a whole lot about what it takes to do great music devices. One of the things that we launched at CES was Rocker 2.0. I'd like to take a second here and let JC talk a little bit about what Rocker 2.0 is.
So as you can see, Ron, this is a Java Linux-based device. I've got here dedicated buttons here for music. If I take a second now, you can see it's on the home screen. All I have to do is press the play button, and then it launches straight into the player. I can look at my albums or artists. I can click down. This holds up to 1,000 songs on this device. So using a full SD card, 2 gigabytes, 1,000 songs. I'll find something for you here. Rush of Blood. And now what I'm doing is just going to play a track for everyone. It's got a graphic equalizer, and the fact that it's Java Linux, we can actually have our developers write applications to take full advantage of this platform.
Tell me a couple of other things that we learned. The headset jack.
Yes, then so we've got a 3.5mm headset jack, as you can see on the top of the device. So there's no longer do you have to do the conversion from 2.5 to 3.5mm. And plus the other thing, Ron, is that this is ATDP.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that it allows you to stream stereo Bluetooth. So let me give you these glasses. And these are the O-Rockers. Again, something that we launched at CES. And it will let you do is we were able to stream the music to the headset. You've got all of the controls on that headset, so the ability to start a call, end a call, voice dialing, but also to look really cool and be able to listen to your tunes and not get stopped by the police for speeding.
Cool. So a great streaming music device with Bluetooth that allows both ears to work stereo music. What other companion products do you have to go work with it?
Well, we've also got this, which we're highlighting today, which is the PC headset. Again, Bluetooth stereo. So like the other one that you can see up there in the display, this is Bluetooth stereo A2DP headset. And then I've got something else for you, Ron.
Cool.
This is the year of the Olympics, so this is just about your size.
I think that means large.
And this is a jacket, the Burton Audex jacket that we announced and launched at CES. You've got all of your controls here, so when you're out on the slopes and you're doing, your winter activities, you can access your phone wirelessly via Bluetooth. You can control calls, you can view your messages, scroll up and down, send, end. But you've also got the speakers here embedded in the hood, the microphone, just point out the microphone there. And then inside the jacket itself, this is co-development with Burton, we have the ability to connect multiple MP3 players. And this one specifically has an iPod adapter, so you can see all the controls in there, you slip your iPod inside, you connect it up, you put your phone in the other pocket, and you're able to do everything on the slopes, music and mobile communication.
Cool. So people might say, why are the companion products, why is Moto Me so important? Why is it important to have the sunglasses? Why is it important to have the earpiece? Why is it important to have the car kit? Why is it important to have the stereo speakers in the docking station and the jacket? Why are all those things important? For one and only reason, okay? So that when that consumer is willing to upgrade from their current device, if a Motorola device, to that next device, they make that natural leap to get the next most fully functioned Motorola device that works across all of the environment that we're creating with our Moto Me accessories. We talked a little bit about our relationship with Yahoo, a little bit with Kodak. Interesting enough, on this device, we've partnered extremely well, not only with Microsoft on the Q device, but also with Microsoft from a DRM perspective on the Rockery 2. Every one of these experiences inside of music, or the other set of experiences that are too numerous to talk about today, require great technology. And Motorola has always been on the forefront of technology. Just like Ed said, matter of fact, our CTO is in Washington today getting an award for the innovations that Motorola has done over the last 75 years. These technologies enable what we call Moto Me. And if you think just over the last couple of years, what are the things that Motorola invented, was first with? And the list is too long to name. GSM, GPRS, UMTS, dual, tri, quad band, UMA devices, Linux and Java out into the marketplace. And we will continue to go do that. One of those devices that we're working very closely with many European operators is the first ability to do 3GPP1 UMA device here in the European market, 802.11 voice. Can you tell me just a little bit about what we're doing there?
Yeah, so we've got the A910 here. And as Dan had said earlier, this is a UMA device, dual mode, so it's GSM and Wi-Fi, so that when you come into your home via the residential seamless gateway, this will connect into that network, and then it acts as if you're your own cellular network within the home. And then when you're out and about, it seamlessly transitions your call from the internal network out onto the public GSM network. So this is the A910, and again, Java Linux.
One of the things that it seems as if going through these 3GSM congresses year after year after year, we have been talking about kind of the 3G Christmas. And the 3G Christmas was the big Christmas where the most number of units was to be sold. I can remember talking about that in 2002, 2003, 2004, and 2005. One of the things that's a big buzz here this year at 3GSM is this being the HSDPA Christmas. And many of you might have seen that we announced, okay, with Docomo being the only Western handset supplier doing HSDPA with them, the ability to support 3.6 megabits per second. We will be launching our 3.6 megabits per second, okay, set of UMTS HSDPA devices low tier, mid tier, and high tier in the second half of this year. We have one of them up and running today, and maybe you can just do a quick download from a music perspective.
Well, in fact, Ron, we've actually got two of them running, because if you remember, we did another demo on the other side. And that device is still connected to the network. But what I've got here is another device, and I'm going to do a download now. You can see that it's coming down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's happening now is it's downloading directly this MP3 file. It's downloading now, coming into the device now over the air. And again, as I said, we're also, that other device on the other side is also competing with it. So, and you can see up here the symbols showing that we're actually pulling down this full 3 meg MP3 file. And then what I'm going to be able to do with this after that is, not only have you got your voice and data services as well, we can download full, not only the MP3s, but we can also stream video to this device as well. Download complete, and it's now launching, and I should be able to plug it in. I think this is your band, isn't it?
So, when we talk about being able to download music, big files, and make it readily easy for the consumer to just push a button and in less than 20 seconds get the song that they want loaded onto their handset. Those data speeds allows this reality. We're excited about it. We're technology leaders in it. We'll have a full portfolio of HSDPA in the second half of 2006. Ed discussed a little bit about what we're doing from a DVBH perspective. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time because Ed already talked about the trials that we're doing. I personally believe we'll be in trials through 2006. I think we'll be in really cool production type devices, very similar to the Cube type form factor in the first half of 2007 from a DVBH perspective, driving volume. When we think about all of this cool stuff, you also think about what is it that people want to go do most. A lot of us in this room are spoiled. We've been in the wireless industry for a significant period of time. However, there's a lot of places in the world where getting great talk time, great standby time, getting internet access for the very first time is unbelievably important. And that's why we partnered in the industry with the GSMA to connect the unconnected. And this partnership has been an absolutely wonderful partnership through 2005 and through 2006. We have now continued this whole process through 2006. And just here's a quick quote that Rob Conway, the CEO of the GSMA, kind of talked about for Motorola being out in the marketplace. And I think it speaks well for what Motorola has been able to do to connect more and more people. Just to give you an idea, Phase 2 has now been extended through Q4 of 2006. The impact for Motorola from a share perspective in the high growth markets has been absolutely clear. We will probably do right about 20 million GSMA handsets by the time 2006 is over. And just to put that number in perspective, okay, that's 31,000 newly connected people every day, about 1,300 every hour, or more than 22 every minute in the world being connected by Motorola as part of the GSMA Connecting the World. To give you an idea of how many that is, since you walked in and you heard us starting to talk, we've connected 1,000 people that had previously been unconnected in the industry. Just an unbelievably exciting thing. We're all about connecting the next billion. And one of the things that this group, okay, who aspire to have their first handsets likes is choices of form factor. And generally we've served this market from a candy bar market. We're just ready to launch what we call radio, which is the first platform built off the same GSMA architecture. However, this time it actually has a radio built in because that is a source of entertainment in many of those markets, as well as a source of information that can be useful. So we'll be thrilled to be announcing that we'll be launching radio here in the near future. We've done some pretty cool stuff. It's an exciting 2006. I wish I could take all of the stuff like I used to do with all of you out of all of my pockets and we could all sit around and look at it and say how cool it was, but we can't do that. Now, one thing that I have gotten a little bit of a hard time on with Ed, Ed's take is, you know, Ron, it seems like you moved from the European market, okay, over to the US market. And now all of a sudden, the slider comes out in Korea first. And Q comes out first in the US market with DO. The last announcement is we're absolutely thrilled to be able to say that in the market uptake and the talks with our conversations with our customers has been very, very supportive, that we'll be launching the Q in the European market in time for Q4 sales, which is just one more thing to help us grow our business across the board, including the enterprise space in the European market. That's all I had today. Thank you. I'm very, very excited for a wild ride in 2006 to outgrow the market again while increasing our operating earnings. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to wrap it up here because we're running a little late, but I think this is the one you have right here, right? People ask me, about Razr, what's after Razr? Well, hopefully Ron answered that, but hopefully if you got one message today, it's about the power of Motorola. It's the power of seamless mobility. I mean, not only as our competition is just figuring out how to build the first Razr, the first thin, we've got slivers, we've got pebbles, we've got 3G, we got colors, we're putting Google, we're putting Yahoo, we're putting Kodak, we're putting video, we're putting music into these devices. We're fashion all over the world. But beyond that, beyond all that crazy, incredible stuff that Ron talked about, we're doing this for the kind of people in the world that want to make a first phone call, want to hear radio, and want to communicate. So it's an exciting time in that business, but more than that, and again, this is the differentiation that we started out early with Dan's business. We're able to take these devices now and connect them to our homes, use it with our cordless devices, connect our DVR content, move music, move video, move all of our personal content onto these devices, take them, bring them to our car, and seamlessly operate. And more than that, with what Adrian saw, we're providing the infrastructure, working hard on 4G and IMS and soft switch capability. We're building out high-speed access into our homes with these clever devices that we hanging on the walls here today. So what's Motorola? It's seamless mobility. It's seamless connectivity, and hopefully you've got that message here today. We're really excited about the next few years. I think we've just begun. So thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you outside.